Arthur, it's just amazing when America's in the gloom. Let's take Steve Ratner's Cars Are in Detroit and all that. We get into our gloom and we clear our way out of it. We seem to do that time and time again.
I think that's part of the American spirit. It's a resiliency. It's an ability not to look back 1,000 years, but to look back 100 years and say, we've been there, we've done that, and we've got the stuff, we've got the strength, and we've got the vision to pull us out of a particular down cycle. Our downs are heavy, but we are so resilient that we don't stay there.
Can Wall Street as a concept be resilient and recover detached from the American people? Or do they have to find a way? Do the Jamie Dimons of the world and the Arthur Levitts of the world have to find a way to reconnect with Main Street in America?
I think we are constantly looking for ways to reconnect. I think it's kind of cyclical, particularly in up markets. There tends to be a disconnect because we're human beings and we tend to believe our own rhetoric. And if things are going along swimmingly, the notion of reconnecting to anybody is probably the last thing in our mind. The business community drives in terms of bringing in money. And it's only when things go down and people are critical and carping and pushing that we hear the signs of, well, let's get back to Main Street. That's where fundamentals are.
Michael?
Arthur Levitt, had some entry-level jobs as head of the American Stock Exchange and chairman of the SEC, finally getting qualified to be a radio host here on Bloomberg Radio. His program, A Closer Look, which runs on Saturdays here. This weekend, you have a major get. You are speaking to the head of the Minneapolis Fed.
What a terrific guy. His feet firmly balanced on the ground, a dovish dove if there ever was one. He is not for raising interest rates at this point. Really a balanced guy, a football fan, a Princeton alumnus, very open. He is optimistic about the economy. I asked him why people felt that it was compelling to raise interest rates, and he said it just goes along with media attention and things that are happening. But he certainly saw no compelling reason right now to raise rates. He thought there were still elements of softness in the economy. Although he wasn't intractable, he didn't say never. He certainly is aware of the fact that the chairman predicted that it's likely to have a raise before the end of the year. His growth rate expectations are relatively modest for this year, somewhat around the 3% level, a little bit lower than that perhaps. He was quite open, and I think it made for a very interesting interview.
Arthur Levitt, very quickly here, you're in San Francisco and the home of Bank of America, but there's really 6 homes, it seems, over the years to Bank of America. Do big bank mergers work? If it's Bank of Boston, Bay Bank, Nations Bank, this bank, that bank, the other bank, and the founding bank in San Francisco, do big bank combinations work?
They work in some areas. They work in financial services generally. I don't think they work very well between big banks and brokerage firms.
Arthur Levitt, thank you so much.